video is part of my 12 Days of Christmas DIY series. If you haven't seen my other videos, you should definitely check those out. And in this one, I do a tutorial on how to make this tree topper using nothing but glitter paper and hot glue. For this, you'll need 2 pieces of 12 by 12 glitter paper. You're going to be gluing them to each other, so you'll need either a glue stick or some spray adhesive, as well as something to measure with, a pair of scissors, a hot glue gun, and of course hot glue sticks. The first thing you'll need to do is glue the backs of your sheets of paper together. Be sure to get the edges. Once that's had a little bit of time to dry, cut your paper into 20 half-inch strips. Once you've cut all of the strips, cut them all in half again lengthwise so that you end up with 40 1/4-inch strips. It's easier to cut them this way than to cut them at 1/4 inch from the beginning, because then you kind of end up getting off track and things end up getting really crooked. Although it's not really an exact science, so don't stress. So from this point you have a whole ton of these strips, and you're just going to take half of them and set them aside, and if you want to make a second star later you can, but for now all we need is half of them. And next, grab all of the strips and cut them in half. Next, you'll take 2 of your pieces, fold them in half and crease them to find the centers, and then hot glue them together in the middle. Next, you're going to add 2 strips to the right and 2 strips to the left. And since the vertical one in the center is underneath, the next 2 on either side are going to be on top. Then flip the whole thing over and glue the other 2 to the top the same way. And this is how you start your weaving pattern. Next, you're going to turn the whole thing, and whichever pieces are underneath, you're just going to bend towards the center in on themselves. Glue that one in place, and then add your glue before you bend those top 3 down back into place. So now that these 2 are on the bottom of that center one, I'm just going to bend them towards the center. Put 3 little dollops of glue there. And glue that next strip in place. So now that you've added 2 to the right, you can just turn the whole thing and add 2 to this side, doing the same thing. So since these 3 are on the bottom of that center strip, hopefully you know what I'm talking about, you'll just bend them forward, add glue to these 2 guys, and now, in my opinion, the hardest part is done. Next, you're going to start taking your corner pieces and gluing them together like so. So if this side is on the bottom, you're going to rotate them in towards each other so that whichever side of the strip was on the bottom is now going to be on top, and you're just going to hot glue the corners together. And you want to hold that for a second, but be careful not to burn yourself with the hot glue. And you're going to do this twice in each corner, but leave those center strips on each side alone. You'll see what I mean. And when that's all done, you're going to have something that looks like this. Now, to finish your tree topper, this isn't enough. You need to make 1 more of these using all the same steps you just did and the rest of your strips. And once you've finished both of those sides, it's time to glue them together. So basically you're going to turn them in on each other. Just like that. So here they are next to each other. They're not going to go directly on top of each other because that would look funny like that, but you're going to just kind of offset them. And to glue them together, just hold it like this with one of the extra strings. And to glue them together, just hold it like this with that spare straight stick on top and then the 2 loops on the bottom. Put a drop on the point of each of the loops. And then stick it to that extra tab that's sticking out. And be careful not to hurt yourself. And then just repeat that all the way around your star. And once you've glued them all together, if there are any edges that have squares on them instead of points, just trim them to make them nice and pretty. And that is your finished tree topper.